What is up, everybody? Rex Extreme Werewolf. In today's video, I would like to review about a movie that I sort of watched on April 4th, and it was a good movie. It was the best. And this, surprisingly, compared to the fact that one time I was forced into watching a movie called World War Z. Granted, didn't really like it, so I didn't really care about. I mean, it was not that good a movie in a way, but this movie, while it was a cartoon CGI and also surprisingly supposed to be a horror movie for kids, this is actually pretty much my favorite zombie movie because this movie in particular stars animals, and the animals involved are pretty much goofy looking versions that sort of take an inspiration of a bit from Madagascar and Ice Age. Then and sort of a bit of Paw Patrol too, because it was the studios that created this movie were from Despicable Me 2, followed up with Ice Age Continental Drift, and Paw Patrol the movie. This movie that was created was by none other than, well, from the minds of Clive Barker, sort of French, Canadian, and American at the same time, or different audios and stuff. Well, anywho, this movie is called Night of the Zoopocalypse. Everyone thinks this movie didn't deserve to be part of zombie cinema history. Well, this movie, this is actually a good one. I would rather watch this over and over and over again and again because this was so good. I loved it every second of it. I loved every second of it, and I especially loved a few of the characters. Well, number one, of course, has to be Gracie the Wolf. I mean, the cute faces she makes, like sort of like an anime take, but animalistic and CGI. There were some times she looked like Scrat in some cases, but she didn't. Had such cute face gestures. She even, granted, when it came to the little tooth thing of hers that sticks up from the bottom of her left mouth, it is a little funny to see that. I mean, it's sort of like a. I mean, they needed to make her stand out from the other wolves, and not to mention, I even discovered a few things. Like, for one instance, most of the wolves that aren't Gracie, well, her brothers Floyd, Hank, Bob, and Maynard, as well as Grandma Abigail, are have their snouts facing down, while Gracie's is up. And compared to them and her, she's more scrawnier, and she's not actually that bad. Then when it came to, I mean, she also makes the most cutest sounds. I mean, top notch to the actor Gabby Cosmides, top notch. And then we got David Harbour, who was from Stranger Things, voicing Dan the Mountain Lion. I actually made a joke, and I don't know if anyone has noticed this, but it is called. I nicknamed him this because if it wasn't the, it would have duh. And here's how it goes: Dan, duh, lion, like the flower. Oh man, that was so. The flower that whisks away by blowing or shaking. Oh my goodness, that was so funny of what I just did. Still gets me every time. But how I review this movie, like, obviously I made a short about it. You should probably know it. It was the one with the green fog around her paw, which now I thought when I looked at the soundtracks before finally watching this movie, I had to take a short because I had to make a short of this because it was good. Like, I mean, the Goomby paw or the Gumby's paw. I thought it was some zombie. Like, I thought it was the Bunny Zero, but really, it was Gracie. She's the symbol in the soundtracks. Honestly, it kind of. I will say that Gracie probably should have been a zombie because I actually saw one design, one fan art of her. She actually, if she did get bit, like she would be gooey, sort of like the others. Only in CGI they don't have the droopy goop or droopy goop. That's what I meant. But her heart, like it doesn't even show her. Like it, I saw a rib cage, her rib cage open, like no goop over. I guess that explains why she has a spirit with. She's both a gold hearted wolf as well as a bright wolf. And while she is clever and cunning, and of course, most of all, cute, so that's for sure. I mean, then again, I'm a wolf guy. Or a dog, wolf, canine guy. And when it comes to the movie, it was so good. Like, I mean, I've seen a few spoilers of it, like how I've always wondered what Gracie and Dan were talking about in their argument before Dan left. Then I realized that especially what were the two words that Dan said, but then again it was in Russian. So Gracie called Dan after curing him. And she thought soap and water was the cure. However, Dan wasn't going to go with this on this planet, considering four animals didn't really help them out. I mean, I guess you could say why. I mean, you could say who. It was Frida the capybara, Xavier the red-ruffed lemur, Felix the proboscis monkey, and finally Ash the ostrich. How those four were literally cowards. Frida says she's a brave girl, but she's still a coward when she was facing off against monsters, which happened to be their zoo animal friends. But with that notion, back to the whole thing with Gracie and Dan, turns out what Dan said to her. Okay, so she called him a cowardly mountain lion. He yells at her with a question mark at the end, saying cowardly. But then he tells her that he's not cowardly, but he's not stupid enough to think that she could save an entire zoo. Which then she retaliates, saying, "Was I stupid when I saved you from drowning?" He said, "Yes, you were." But with but then she was like going on saying how if she's so stupid, they then she didn't need the key that she was dangling around her neck. The very same key that she said that she would give to Dan if he helped brought her back to her pack, although they were zombified now. Zombified. That E or sound. So the two words that I finally learned that I've been wanting to hear what he said outside of Russian language, but English, is saying "we're done," like the apostrophe between we and re. And then she was going to say, fine, or go. I can't exactly remember how it was, but I did remember she said, who needs a cowardly mountain lion anyway? Then, fast forward, Gracie then discovers that after a zombified Poot, the female baby pygmy hippo, turning back into her regular self, it wasn't really soap and water, it was music. Which, now that I think about it, when I watched it, the satellite was in space was playing the Culpeper Zoo song, which was probably the only song that was damaging the meteorite before Bunny Zero ate it after it was shaped from from crashing into a satellite into looking like a peanut. I'm surprised bunnies eat peanuts. I thought they were only carrot lovers. But I guess I could be wrong. Excuse me. But when it comes to the song being The Cure, which of course, surprisingly, magically, that would make sense. Uh, Makes more sense than a scientific solution of science and of soap and water. I meant not science and water. I meant soap and water. A scientific solution of soap and water, but with the whole. I mean, it would sort of make sense. The satellite was playing the song when the meteor was hitting, and once every zombie was cured, well, a few of them were cured. The song got louder when Gracie and a few of her zoo animal friends, including her cured friends, she well, I wouldn't call them friends, but they're probably neighbors, yeah. I mean, then again, in a zoo, you are neighboring neighbors. So, she, along with the other zoo animals, helped other zoo animals be cured from the mutated, from the giant mutant that Bunny Zero was controlling. And then Gracie reunites with her cured wolf pack, and then tries to introduce Dan to her family, except he was walking. I mean, I feel like Gracie would probably still. I mean, granted, he did promise to bring her. I mean, he did keep up his end of the deal, his promise to take her back to her pack even when they were zombified, but she refused. He even still wanted to help her get out of there, like take her to the wild to be away from all that monstrous stuff. Because he was being generous in a way. I mean, and then at the end, she would have given him. I mean, even though she didn't, she was being reluctant in giving it back to him. But anywho, he took it, and he finally got the key and used it to open up the gate so he could escape the zoo. And Yaya, the wolf pack, Ash, Frida and Poot, and Xavier, and then finally Gracie, all howled together. And the movie ends. Then that badass of a theme song. Well, there's the opening theme, but I mean the actual theme song that's being played, the literal Night of the Zoopocalypse song. I mean, it's literally a title, but I mean, for the movie, but it's also a song title. Hmm. And I will guess so that the opening credits theme is not that bad either. Heck, I even have to say that the Cold Pepper song was not bad, considering a friend of mine is not really keen in terms of Disney girls songs. But this Culpepper song, while sung by children, is a little fun. But then you got the whole voice cast. Like, it's sort of like the lyrics changed. Like, there's an opening theme song to the Culpepper Zoo, and then there's an ending closing. Yeah. So, why I think Dan was so willing to pressure Gracie into giving her him the key. I feel like he didn't want. Actually, no, wait. We're going to talk about that in another time. We're going to talk about it another time. I just hope you know that I would give this movie 5 stars. I love this movie for the first time. This is a zombie movie I actually love, even though I'm a guy. I'm a werewolf lover kind of guy. Love all the werewolf movies. Well, only a few, as long as they're not too gruesome like that. The American Werewolf in London. More like the more ones like Van Helsing, stuff. But anywho, I hope you all enjoy, and I'll see you all next time, and I'll talk to you further about Zoopocalypse. But I do also have to tell you that I have a few videos that I've recorded from the from the 2 nights I was watching the movie. So, granted, they were horizontal. Should have done them by shorts, but I wanted to also get the whole scenes a bit. Well, like a few minutes of the scenes, but I feel like I'll just have them short, like maybe 1 minute and a few seconds, but not that many because I'm trying to get only a certain view. So if I were to release another video, which of course I should not have done that one with Gracie's pack. However, I would only release that video to, I mean, I know it's going to get a copyright and I know but the movie, I'm just going to try and make it so that Night of the Zoopocalypse has more merch. Like in the song, in the Culpepper Zoo song, at Culpepper Zoo, a lot of merch for you. We need merch like right now, outside of the movie, outside of the song, like plushies, action figures, apparel. Heck, it would be actually cool to see a video game of it. Oh my goodness, I should actually talk about that in another video. But I hope you all enjoy. I will also say that I may not have been the first one to publish some of the English audio for Night of the Zoopocalypse, but I was one of the first recorded. I still have them up, but I mean, still in my gallery, but I will soon hope to give it to you. I mean, for the recent smug and scared look for Gracie, I will make sure that there's one where it shows just. We'll probably keep the full length one. I'm actually going to probably release a video where it because I was trying to get the whole thing with how she refers to Poot as a snack, like convincing Dan to bring Poot with them because she's just a cub. Oh, well, even though technically, scientifically, she's a calf, but I guess a cub when it comes to certain animals. I yawned twice in this video. Weird. Anywho, I hope you all enjoy. Still give a 10 out of 10, 5-star ratio for a movie. Badass songs, badass characters, also cute characters. I will talk about why Dan wanted to get out of the zoo, wanted to escape the zoo in another video, but I hope you all enjoy. Bye!